Hi, boys and girls. Good to see you again. I want to just say I am so proud of each and every one of you. You are working so hard through all these e-learning assignments. I know some days I assign a little bit more than other days. The goal is to get as far as we can, even though we're not at school, to get as far as we can through the fourth grade skills so that you will be ready when the school year starts up again. So with that, keep working hard and keep working through ReadWorks, Newsela, all the IXLs, the ALEX, and keep reading your novels, your picture books. I don't care what you're reading, but just keep reading daily. I'm reading daily also. I'm finishing up my third book. I'm going to be downloading another book on my cell phone because, as you guys know, the library is closed along with everything else. So congratulations, boys and girls. Like I said, I am so proud of you. So keep up the great work. Okay, so in social studies, we're going to start a new lesson called Farm Life, Farming in Indiana in the late 1800s. So as you know, let's just recap real quick. So we finished up the Civil War, the war between the North and the South because of slavery and states' rights. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated right after the Civil War in 1865. New president Andrew Johnson is our new president. And during the time that he is president, we are going through a time period called Reconstruction, especially in the South, the states of Virginia, North, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee. Those states in particular had numerous battles and there was much destruction, and so cities and towns had to be rebuilt. And so that's where we're at right now. So now we're going to pick up what farming was like in the late 1800s. And I'm going to show you some pictures in the hardback book just to kind of give you an idea of what life was like for our farmers then and what our farmers now get to experience with the technology and the equipment and how big tractors and plows and combines are of today and what they were back in the late 1800s. So sit back, relax. I will be reading for about 5 minutes or so. It's not a long chapter. So sit back, relax, and learn about farming in Indiana. Farming was hard until the late 1800s when farmers developed new tools and methods. A new plow made it easier to prepare fields for planting. New methods of farming increased the amount of food farmers could grow. They sold the extra food and bought goods that made their lives easier. I have a vocabulary word I'm going to talk to you about, and it is called self-sufficient. And self-sufficient is exactly what it means. You're relying on yourself. You can take care of yourself. You don't need help from anybody else. This is all about you and providing for yourself and for your family. Self-sufficient. The earliest Indiana farmers were self-sufficient. This means they provided for almost all their own needs. The farm family grew or made what is needed. Each member of the family had a set of tasks. Men tended the fields, women took care of the house, the cooking, the cleaning, the sewing, and the children. The children and older people helped too in planting and harvest seasons, though everybody worked in the fields. In the late 1800s, farm life changed. New technology, you know that word. We had that word in reading back a few weeks ago. New technology made farm work easier. Technology is the use of scientific ideas, special skills, and tools to meet people's needs. One new tool was the reaper. And boys and girls, I'm going to show you a picture of the reaper. Okay, here is a picture of the reaper. Reaper would cut the grain and bundle it. So just by me saying that, it cut and bundled, yeah, this is like a present day combine. Okay, so look, now you know what a combines look of like today. 12 rows. A farmer can take down 12 rows of corn. And it can also, you know, the wheel on the combine, that is for beans, and it can take up, how many rows, Clint? 12 or more rows if you're in soybeans and also in wheat. So this is our present day combine, the reaper, pulled by horses. Look how small it is. Okay. One new tool was the reaper. This horse-drawn machine cut and bundled grain. With a reaper, farmers could harvest more quickly than when they had to work by hand. As a result, they could harvest larger fields. Another useful new tool was an improved plow made of steel. Look at this plow. One head plow. You guys have seen plows of today where farmers can use the hydraulics and it lifts it, and like one part of a plow can go on top of another piece of plow, and then when they get into the field they just extend it, and a farmer can pull a giant plow that's able to plow acres just in one swath, going down one way and then coming back another. This is one row. Okay, so look how we've improved with our technology. Okay, I have a name for you, a very important name. The name is James Oliver. The Oliver family resided in South Bend, Indiana. They started a plow works in South Bend, employed a lot of people. They were from Scotland, and they started their life here in South Bend, Indiana, and they made the chiseled plow. And this chiseled plow then was transported all throughout the country by farmers. And so the Oliver family, and they have a mansion, the Oliver Mansion, also known as Kopschelholm. And in the past, I would take kids on field trips, and we would go and have a field trip with Kopschelholm. Beautiful, beautiful place. So maybe this summer, if you don't have anything to do, maybe your mom and dad can take you up to Kopschelholm, the Oliver Mansion, and go on a tour, because it is beautiful and there's so much history in that mansion. But anyway, so a Hoosier named James Oliver first made this plow in the 1850s. The plow did not break as easily as wood and iron models had. It also cut more cleanly through damp soil. In the 1860s, many farmers bought James Oliver's plows. Farmers also worked in new ways that were more productive. They learned how to rotate their crops. That is, they planted a different crop in the same field each year. This rotation kept the soil fertile. They also used fertilizers to make the soil richer. Another important change was the greater use of horses. Horses pulled the reaper and the plow. As a result, farmers could work more land. New machines and the increased use of horses made farms larger and more productive. By the 1880s, Indiana was the fourth largest producer of corn in the nation. Many Indiana farmers also raised hogs, pigs. In Indianapolis and Madison, workers butchered the hogs, earning Madison the nickname of Porkopolis. Farm life changed in another way. Money became a bigger part of farm families' lives. They got money for selling their crops. They used that money to buy goods. Families bought new stoves, pots, and pans. Family members could also now buy clothes instead of making them. Farm families did not have to travel to stores to buy these goods. New companies had formed that published catalogs showing all the goods they had for sale. Catalogs contained many different products, from clothing to farm tools. Anything that farm families wanted was delivered to the farm. Farm families had some fun too. Women helped each other make quilts. While they worked, they socialized and caught up on each other's lives. Trips to town and county fairs were also big events, because farm families got to visit with their neighbors. Farmers also came together at meetings known as the Grange. So this is another vocabulary word, and the Grange